The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Wicked Weed studio. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene. You are in the Sportsocracy. Check out our friends at Wicked Weed Brewing at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing, drink different. This one's going to be fun. The 7-round mock draft for the Seattle Seahawks. They have 3 picks, but you'll get to hear all 3 of the picks and our instant analysis right here all 3 days of the NFL draft. Well, not all 3 days, just 2 days of the NFL draft because they don't have a first-round pick, so we won't talk about them on Thursday.
And we'll only talk about them on day 3 if their day 3 pick is as good as the one that's about to come on the screen right here.
In the second round, 56th overall, the guy who won the Remington Trophy out of Alabama, Landon Dickerson.
There is a possibility that he goes to the Steelers. I've always thought that was a smokescreen. I think it's a smokescreen that you take in the first round. The tape on him has not been it's a myth. Landon Dickerson was not that good until he was 23 years old. He's playing against a bunch of boys. Mm-hmm. He's playing against a bunch of kids that are 18, 19, 20 years old, and he's a 23-year-old man. There are reservations there. Now, that being said, he's the best interior lineman in this draft. He's the best center in this draft beyond a shadow of a doubt. Coming off an ACL injury, he's going to slide a little bit beyond what you think he is. Yes, he did the cartwheel at Mac Jones Pro Day, and we all went, oh, look, his knee's recovering. That's fine. He still blew his ACL not 6 months ago. Mm-hmm. So, calm down. I think he could be here at 56. If he's not, it's probably because Pittsburgh found a way to get him right there in the early 50s in the second round.
Landon Dickerson's a guy I really like. They are doing new things with medicine these days, and the recovery times are not as great as they used to be. I think he could come in and be an immediate impact with the Seattle Seahawks, whose offensive line has just always been their biggest downfall.
Well, I mean, you got to do something to make Russ happy. I think Landon Dickerson would do that. He's a tremendous player. The tape his senior year is really good. There are just things that I can cut holes in it, and that's typically what I say of guys that wind up going about 20 picks later than we thought they would.
Mm-hmm. In the 4th round at 129 overall, you got him taking another lineman, Deontay Smith, the offensive tackle out of East Carolina.
Yeah, it's a dancing bear. This guy is stupidly light on his feet. My best comp on him is George Fant, who played with the Seahawks. He got a big-ass contract with my Jets. Very light on his feet, very light guy. This is a guy that I don't know this to be true, but I really feel like he had to play tight end at some point because he is super thin for a lineman. He's 6'4", but he's only 289 pounds. Very light on his feet, like I said, very athletic, great athleticism, great explosiveness out of his stance. Actually came back for the Senior Bowl and was really good. That's where the stock started to rise on him. And by the way, he's got 35-inch arms.
That's good.
Damn ridiculous.
That's real good. What's the average for an offensive tackle? About 34? Really?
31 and a half.
Oh, okay.
That's the average for all NFL linemen. I couldn't tell you what it is for tackles.
I think it's 34 is for tackles.
It's shorter than that because there's not more than 5 of those guys a year.
Yeah.
34 is long. Put it this way, 34 is long. 35 is real long.
Mm-hmm. Out of this class, there's not many that hit that 34 mark.
No. And that's the thing. This is a guy that, he had an undisclosed injury and he basically shut it down for the year. Mm-hmm. There is a little bit of a size tends to mess with him. He plays up against a big D lineman. He can get a little jumpy. He can get a little reachy, a little grabby. But other than that, I think he's a raw prospect. I just so happen to be a little connected to the East Carolina program, and I know they really like this kid. Really good kid. Would be a good pick for the Seahawks.
At 250 overall will be the 3rd and final pick of this draft, barring any trades, for the Seattle Seahawks. Raymond Johnson III, an edge rusher out of Georgia Southern.
So here's a fun stat. Okay. You care to name me who the highest graded by Pro Football Focus edge rusher in the nation was this year?
Was it Raymond Johnson III? Wow.
Number 1. The level of competition is obviously a thing. Mm-hmm. This guy got markedly better as time went on. Wound up, to me, the tape is pretty impressive, especially for a guy that plays at 270 pounds. Now, he was a little big at that level and you're getting some smaller tackles, so there's some questions about that. This is a guy that I think if you give him some time, you really coach him up on technique because he's a little upright, and I'm afraid big, strong linemen in the NFL are going to take him right out of place. Now, that being said, I think he has a skill set because he does have a legitimate pass rusher toolbox. I think he can be an impact pass rusher in the NFL. Just think it's going to take a year or two.
The Seattle Seahawks only 3 picks in this NFL draft, and that's good because they got other things to focus on. They got to worry about keeping Russell Wilson happy.
Hey, but I'm real glad you gave us a 1 and a 3 for Jamal Adams, and that one next year. Yeah. we don't miss him. Don't send him back. It's fine. You give him $20 million a year. Mm-hmm. I had to take that shot.
Follow all of the Seattle Seahawks picks here during the NFL draft. We will be live for all 3 days of the festivities. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Hit the subscribe button so you get all of our draft prep videos, 7-round mock drafts, team by team, going out over the next 3 days, leading up to the big day. 7 o'clock right here in the Wicked Weed studio on Thursday night, 2021 NFL Draft. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene, and we'll see you next time.